This season, Truth Speaks goes on the road. Real places, real people, real conversations. No studio walls, just truth, courage, and connection wherever the story lives.
Tune in to Truth Speaks. Real conversations, real truth, real people. I'm your host, Dee Mosley, coming soon to BTV 33 and your favorite streaming services.
All right, folks, welcome back. And again, we're on the road. I am so excited that we're on the road for Truth Speaks with season 3. Listen, we talked about this. We're coming out of the studio. We're on the road. So I'm very privileged and honored to be a part of what Groundswell is doing. I want to introduce you all to a very familiar face in our community where we're based, of course, is Mr. Leon Childs. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us today.
Dee, it's always a pleasure to be in your presence.
Thank you. See, I'm going to get a little casual here. See, what you all don't know is that we kind of grew up together. We're from the same area. And I'm so excited and thrilled to see you doing great things in the community, for the community. You're doing the work. You're on the ground. You got, as we say, boots on the ground. You're out there doing the work. So we appreciate you for that because listen, it's not easy, right?
Man, I don't think easy is the word that I want to use. But you know this yourself because you're doing the work too.
I'm trying in my own way.
In your own way. And so likewise to you too, because you're always, without you, we wouldn't be able to get the stories
the information
what we're doing.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like you said, I'm boots on the ground.
Yeah, y'all are doing, you're doing the work.
How would it get known?
Right.
Without, people like you.
Well, thank you. So listen, we're here in Opelika again with this great work that you all are doing with Groundswell. First of all, we've talked to quite a few people this morning regarding the road show, but give us a backstory about what Groundswell is. And when we say groundswell, we're saying groundswell, right? But a lot of us within our community really may not in particularly know what Groundswell is. So give us a little bird's eye view of what Groundswell is and what you all do.
Yes, ma'am. So Groundswell is a 501c3 organization that specializes in alleviating and reducing utility bills.
Okay.
So rather that may be through community soul, rather it may be through resiliency hubs, or rather it may be through just doing those costly home repairs.
Exactly.
And energy efficiency mechanisms
right.
to your home.
Right.
The organization is probably around 12 to 15 years old.
Wow, very really new still.
Very, very, really new. Yes, ma'am. It was started in Washington, D.C. And now to this day, we're in about 7 or 8 different states. In Georgia and Alabama.
Didn't know that.
Yes, ma'am. We just made inroads into Alabama and we just completed our 116th home with the soul.
Leon, that is amazing.
Yes, ma'am. I'm very proud of that.
I love that. And I see you doing the work again. And I keep saying that. And you were just talking, you're speaking the language of the folks so that they can understand. But break that down even more into layman's terms.
Yes,
when you say that you all go into the communities and go into the homes, what does that look like? Like you go in, like take my home, for instance, kind of let me get personal with how much my utility bills and all of that stuff is. It's not cheap.
No, ma'am.
So, for somebody like me, working, and we all work, but, say for instance, my light bill might be $500.
Yes, ma'am.
But there may be some things that you all can find that could reduce, or you could answer those questions as to why my light bill may be this expensive. It may be my windows. It may be, the heating and air, something may be wrong with it. Am I right?
No,
Talk to us about it.
You have become a professional on it, and I think that you have because you have seen how high your utility bill.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And then that could be for elders who cannot
income.
Exactly.
Yes,
so just break that down and help us understand so that whoever may catch this later can understand what you all do to help reduce those energy bills, because there may be some things that may be going on in our homes, right?
Yes, ma'am. So I've been with Groundswell for approximately 4 years now, and I can say unequivocally that I'm a big avid person that reads and I look at the news media and all this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And now today, 4 years ago, I did not see utility bills as a cost of living issue.
Absolutely, it is.
How high food is, how high eggs, how high the mortgage is, how high the car note is, all this.
All of those things, right?
People are talking about those utility bills.
Absolutely.
And one of the best things that you can do, some things you name, when you have a home that is kind of old, that house sort of kind of settles in and different things of that nature, it starts to separate, create
cracks.
Then you are,
I kind of have an idea. I have an idea, but you have the elderly, like you said, who are on fixed income, who have not had these conversations and who don't understand. So that's why I wanted to kind of bring that information out in the forefront so that folks can say, oh yeah, I do have, that crack under the door. Absolutely correct. I do, I am tucking a towel here to, what I'm saying?
That's right. And it's funny that you mentioned the towel thing. I look at that in the same equivalent as I used to wonder when I was a little child
Come on and talk about
what that plastic doing?
Come on and talk. Exactly right.
And then you see that all the time.
Absolutely. Yes. But now you understand it.
We understand.
Right.
Our parents was trying to conserve that heat in the wintertime.
And that's all they knew to do.
That's all they knew to do.
But now in 2025,
yes, ma'am.
Groundswell is making inroads for so many folks who still do the plastic on the windows. But we don't have to, right?
We don't have to do that iSwerve anymore. We have a process called weatherization. So around those windows, you can put the black strip molding around where the cracks are and seal that in there. But we're also, Groundswell go even farther. Groundswell go even farther, and we replace those whole windows to energy efficient.
I'm telling y'all.
Which is a lot more costlier than doing the weatherization, but that weatherization will give you a sense of comfort because you won't feel all those drafts and all that.
Right.
And it will start to alleviate that utility bill because it'll soak in all cracks and cracks.
Right.
You got around those windows.
Now, you said a key word that we all look for. You said it's a little more costly, but let's make sure that we educate the folks even further.
Yes, ma'am.
Just because there's a cost associated with it does not mean that cost goes to falls on the homeowner, correct?
That's absolutely.
So help the folks understand that Groundswell is also there as a financial resource if they qualify, correct?
That is absolutely correct. And a great point you just brought up. And so
we got to let the people know.
Yes, ma'am. Groundswell utilizes federal grants.
Exactly.
So loans. Grants you do not have to pay back. So we're not a loan company. So Groundswell do all the legwork and applies for these grants through the federal government, through state governments, philanthropists. They make donations to us and stuff. And we take that money and we leverage it to make your home more energy efficient.
To take care of the people.
That is correct.
I love this conversation. Listen, I didn't even have to look at these cards here that I do have questions on, but
this
am
deep our heart.
Exactly.
And we always talk like this.
The passion for our people and what meeting the needs of the people. When you can be true to that, it's a passion and it's easy to do, right? I mean, the work is hard. It's hard work. But when you're willing, like yourself, to roll up your sleeves to make sure that our folks are taken care of, that's what matters. And we appreciate you for that. But before I let you leave off of the chair here, let's talk about. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
What impact do you hope what the work that you're doing continues to have through Groundswell for, like we just said, for folks like our elders who need it the most?
Okay. So I would say there will be two impacts that I would like to see. The first thing, I want to see the reduction of your utility bill. But the foremost greatest thing, what I'm hoping to see, is to create generational wealth for your family. If I have stabilized your home by repairing that roof, repairing those floors, making those windows energy efficient, got you a new HVAC unit, I have not only made that house more energy efficient and reduced the utility cost, but guess what? I have brought the value up.
You brought the
on your
value
house as
up.
well.
Exactly.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
also continue to solidify their legacy for their family.
That is correct.
With the home house.
That is correct.
I love it. I love it. And I'm going to end our time here today. And again, it's been such a pleasure. I'm going to end it with asking you this very last question. Obviously, we're on the road with the Renaissance Rural Road Show. Okay. Why do events like this matter?
Events like this matter because you're going to get a plethora of information.
Absolutely.
As we speak right now, we have breakout sessions on
all over,
housing, and funding mechanisms that you can use to make your house efficient.
Right.
So just the education.
The education alone is why it's so important.
Yes, ma'am. And for all of us to have so much in common, you know, you bring all these great things together. We're still bringing in great ideas.
It's absolutely amazing. Well, Leon, my friend.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining us on Truth Speaks. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Dee.
All right, folks, that has been Mr. Leon Childs, Councilman Leon Childs, and one of the folks who represents Groundswell. Listen, we'll be right back.
You see, truth understands that no one person is an island and can stand alone. It takes a village locked in on the finish line, understanding that it takes all of us in order to get there. Truth has a way of finding its voice, and I'm ready, along with some amazing people, to share my voice with you. Unscripted, unfiltered, and real. Join us as we have conversations that matter.
All right, folks, we're back, and joining us right now is, I'm so honored to have him, Governor Lewis. Now, I do not want to be disrespectful and pronounce the name of your community wrong, but I believe that it is Gila River Community.
Yes.
Gila River Indian Community.
Just south of Phoenix.
Just south of Phoenix. Yes. That's what I thought. Now, we're going to get into this. And like I said, this is not going to be painful at all. But again, I'm honored. Thank you so much for joining us on Truth Speaks, sir. This means a lot to me. So tell me, we're at the Renaissance, Rural Renaissance Road Show, right? It's a whole thing because energy is it's so important and a must. No, that's why all of us podcasters are here, this new age thing that we do with technology to let folks know. But what does the Rural Renaissance mean to you within the Gila River Indian community? Tell us a little bit about it. Talk to me about it.
Right. Well, you know, I'm the governor for the Gila River Indian community, which means I'm the president or as an elected leader. So we have a tribal constitution. We have our own separate government, separate from the state. And we, as tribal sovereignty, we look at the federal government as our federal partner. We look at them, but they have a trust responsibility and a treaty responsibility, to uphold tribal sovereignty. And we were put on reservations, which were just a fraction of our own original Aboriginal land base.
Yes.
And so, for, that putting us on there, and for the Gila River Indian community and for tribes across Indian country, the United States, they've fought to protect the integrity of this remaining land base.
Sure. Yes.
Right?
Of course.
And within that.
Yes.
Water rights. Within that, natural resources, political, rights as well.
The whole gamut.
The whole gamut. And so, when you talk about tribal sovereignty, when you talk about self-determination, true self-determination, and I see this, coming from the desert, coming from Arizona to here, to this beautiful region.
Right.
I see so many commonalities.
Yes.
I see community members wanting to take control of their destiny, of their self-determination, of making those decisions from within, not from being dictated to from outside.
I love that. Which speaks to my next question in regard to cultural preservation. And you just talked about all of that. So my question is, how has your community balanced the cultural preservation with forward-looking development in regard to all of that?
Right. And what I'll say to you and to your viewers out there, I say, Skook Siata, good morning, and I'll introduce myself. I forgot to do that.
I love that.
Yes, Anya Anapchugat, Governor Stephen Roe Lewis. That's my name. Amjuk Gulaki Sakatone. That's where I'm from. So we always say where we're from.
I just got chills. I'm sorry because I'm so it's such a privilege and an honor to be sitting here with you, Governor, and to be taught what I don't know. And this is giving me chills because hearing you speak in your own language is making me understand how ignorant, first of all, I am to who you are and your people are, and how much of an honor it is for all of us that you're here at the Rural Renaissance Roadshow, because you all have a voice that needs to be heard, and you're here also as a governing body to so that we can understand what you all need and how we all work together, right?
Right. I think it's so important when we create these spaces, right? And
exactly.
The Rural Renaissance, is an amazing space where, hopefully, we can meet each other. We can just, incredible presentations and commonalities and common, challenges.
Exactly right.
And,
exactly
and
right.
Look at and sharing our successes.
Exactly.
And hopefully, share best practices. And for the Gila River Indian community, I think what's important, especially, and this is, for us as a sovereign tribal nation, but also would be for any community. You have to make decisions collectively.
Exactly.
And you have to make these decisions that are in line and are based and supported by your culture and traditions, right?
Exactly
by
right.
Those ancestors that have sacrificed, that have gone through so much. So we're here in a position, to make these decisions, based on an incredible, rich history, but also a history of struggle, a history of
all of that.
As we start to look at, decisions to empower, our next generations, what we say is that, we make decisions based on 7 generations, right?
Oh, wow.
There's 2 ways to look at this. Looking at 7 generations that have gotten us here to this point, and to make decisions based on the next 7 generations. Or to look at not to get too complicated.
Yes.
Or to look at the last 3 generations, the generation you're in, to make those decisions for the next 3 generations.
I was just talking to a young man about the generational legacy that you just spoke of, and I won't hold up too much more of your time. I'm going to ask you another question in regard to economic development. How do partnerships, whether with state, federal, or private entities, play a role in rural progress? How do you see that?
I mean, we see ourselves like first of all, in 2, sort of 2 approaches. One is, we have to provide for ourselves. We have to build a stable economy. We have to build stable infrastructure. I think one thing that's a commonality in rural areas, Indian country included, is that there have been an historic lack of investment in infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Access to clean water.
I love that.
Right? Whether it's, access, to power and energy, and now technology. Right? And when
absolutely.
We can't be left back, especially in this burgeoning, and we know, this burgeoning green smart technology.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, we can't get run over by it either. We can't have
that is good, sir.
Come in. We can't have
because we're facing that.
Right. We have to be in charge of making these decisions for our own communities, because who knows our communities better, than we do.
Right,
we know
exactly.
Our communities better than any other, group or interest group.
Well, Governor Lewis, I want to thank you for joining us here on Truth Speaks. Is there anything before I let you go that you would like to add? Because I know that this day is chock full of resources and information, so I don't want you to miss anything. But is there anything else that you would like to share with us as our Truth Speaks audience is listening in?
Right. Well, I think every people, every community has histories of resiliency, right? And we have to harness, what were those strengths? What made us resilient as a people, right? And harness that.
I love that.
Into our decision making, into our planning, into empowering our people, empowering our young people. I know our elders at home, they want when they walk on and when they leave this world, they want to leave a land. They want to leave a community, that is resilient for the future, that is able to take care of the successive generations. For us, we're looking at ways, because we're in Arizona, we're in the desert, and because of climate change, that affects every region differently.
Absolutely.
Right. But, when you think of rural communities, when you think of people of color, when you think of underserved communities, these type of situations such as climate change, they affect us, drastically, more drastically, than the mainstream, right?
Yes.
And so, so we have to look at ways where we're at the table, where we're making decisions. And for the Gila River Indian community, we've leveraged our tribal sovereignty, to look at ways where we're putting solar panels up over where we're agriculturalists, we're farmers, and we're just trying to keep that tradition alive. And so we're looking, and we were the first ones to put solar panels over our canals. We were the first in the Western Hemisphere to do this. The only other project similar was in India. And so we're leading the way, and we're relatively a small Indian community, right, in Arizona. And so we have institutions, and we have the federal government, we have, like Arizona State universities that are looking at us to see exactly how this Indian tribe did this and how we're going to be accomplishing this. So what's going to be important, beginning of next year, we're going to start to get this data. This has been about a year and a half of how much water we've been able to save from evaporation, because we've covered how much solar energy, that we've been able to produce and to put back in our system, because we have over 200 miles of canals on our reservation. We're about 370,000 plus acres reservation. So, this could be really a game changer, not only for the community, but as a best practice. We could look at being the first, net zero carbon neutral, ever. And
Exactly.
not in any country, but in the United States. So keep on looking for Gila River Indian community and things we're doing, because I think what this shows is that, when a community gets the resources, they can bring, really some incredibly, progress to long-standing, challenges and difficulties.
Exactly right. Governor Lewis, thank you so very much for joining us here on Truth Speaks. Listen, we'll be right back.
You see, truth understands that no one person is an island and can stand alone. It takes a village locked in on the finish line, understanding that it takes all of us in order to get there. Truth has a way of finding its voice, and I'm ready, along with some amazing people, to share my voice with you. Unscripted, unfiltered, and real. Join us as we have conversations that matter.
And we're back. And again, our sponsors, BTV and Groundswell, we're so privileged to get, again, season 3, Truth Speaks. Listen, guys, like we've been talking about for so long, we're on the road. And what better way to be on the road than to kick it off being a part of the Renaissance Rural Road Show. And I thank you, Mr. Tony, for joining us today. I appreciate you taking a moment. I know that everything, we're in the hustle and bustle of the road show, but thank you for stopping by.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's kick this off. Let's get started. Like I said, we won't hold up because we know you're doing great work, but let me ask you, what made you decide to that you had to be here, that this event was something that was a need to be for you to be here?
Well, it is always great to be in a community of folks who are working on just improving life in their rural towns.
Absolutely.
And I live in Washington, D.C. I work at an institution called the Brookings Institution, but I'm a small town boy myself. I grew up in North Central Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
The former anthracite coal country. So I grew up in a town of about 1,800.
My goodness. So you do understand rural community.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, I also understand sort of how difficult it can be sometimes.
Yes.
What the headwinds that rural communities have faced.
Yes, that was going to be my next question to you. See, we're clicking. We're here. My question is: so many people, they don't get it. They see rural America as facing more challenges than opportunities. So my question to you is, what do you think people often overlook about the potential of rural community?
I think they really overlook the innovation and creativity that is in rural places.
Yes.
We often talk, when we say innovation, most people think of like Silicon Valley or
absolutely right.
Places, Seattle, technology, all that kind of stuff. And people in rural communities are not as creative as can be because they've got one person doing like 6 different things.
The resources,
taking places like this, and turning it into vibrant places where people are coming together and enjoying themselves, enjoying their community.
Do tell.
I think that is, really overlooked in when we think about rural places. We really overlook the opportunity and the innovation.
Yeah. A lot of things get overlooked, like you said, which goes into my next question. Since we're here and all of this is going on to create this great messaging for everyone, what key message do you hope attendees that are here at the Roadshow take away from not only everybody else, but also from your talk today?
I hope what they take away is, one, that whatever they have in mind is possible.
I love that.
2, it's probably not possible if you're trying to do it on your own. But if you find the group
that's good
that is willing to work together.
Yes.
And 3, generally you find those people who just love the place that they're living in like you love the place you're living in.
Absolutely.
And that thing will connect you all. And that if you can put those things together, it can be difficult, but you can find the investment that you need to be able to make things happen. You can find the experts that you need to be able to come down and make things happen. And that there are opportunities out there. Some of them are even industrial opportunities. Some of them's just, bottom up, create your own business kind of opportunities, but they're out there. But it's a matter of believing it's possible, knowing that there's others out there that share the same thought and getting together and working on it together.
I love it. And I'm over here intently listening and nodding my head because I didn't want to step on your sound. But one last question. Again, thank you so much for joining us. But my last question to you is, looking ahead, what gives you hope and or motivation? I know you said at the beginning of our conversation that your work is not important, but it is absolutely important. It is. But what gives you hope and or motivation, like I said, to just keep doing this work, to do what you do?
I live in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
That is a place that is seen as being pretty polarized these days and not very functional.
But it is.
Not a lot of people feel like they're coming together to work together to get things done. But when I go into rural America and for my own work, I visit a lot of rural places that are seeing positive things happen.
Right.
And what I actually see happening there is democracy in action.
Absolutely.
It's just local people. They might look different from each other. They might think differently of each other. They come from different, professional backgrounds, all walks of life. But because they love their place and because they want there to be opportunity and they want to be in a place that they love to work and play and live in, they are working together to make better things happen in their community. And that gives me
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. I appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
It has been. Continue to do great work.
Well, continue to tell the world about that great work.
We have to. We're going to do it. And
All
with
right.
that being said, y'all, we'll be right back.
This season, Truth Speaks goes on the road. Real places, real people, real conversations, no studio walls, just truth, courage, and connection wherever the story lives.
Tune in to Truth Speaks. Real conversations, real truth, real people. I'm your host, Dee Mosley, coming soon to BTV 33 and your favorite streaming services.